Hi everyone, I'm Jasmine. I'm going to present my course project identifying patterns of two types of principal turnover in the USA and Singapore using decision trees. Principal turnover has become a major concern in education. The change in principal leadership is expensive, costing the education industry about $2.2 billion per year to fill vacancies. Principal attrition is also detrimental to teachers' teaching quality and students' academic achievement. Given the academic and financial costs of principal attrition, it's crucial to identify the drivers of principal turnover, but we do not have suitable methods to predict principal turnover because the previous studies have mostly used linear regression models, considering features of principal turnover only as linearly additive. The current project makes a novel contribution to the principal turnover literature by examining the variables related to two forms of principal turnover, leaving the principalship of changing schools, using a machine learning approach and comparing between two important education contexts, the United States and Singapore. The project shows that classification and regression trees can be useful for discovering meaningful patterns and providing data visualizations in the context of turnover. I also identified major predictors of principal turnover, including students' socioeconomic status, principals' ability to influence decision-making, and their satisfaction with support received from followers. Even though the two countries have different education systems and cultures, there is some consistency when predicting principals' intentions to leave their schools. Principal satisfaction with the support from teachers was a factor that influenced principals' decisions to change schools in the two countries. I used Teaching and Learning International Survey data collected by the Organization for Economic Cooperation and Development. I used TALIS principal questionnaires to examine over 300 principals' turnover intentions in the US and Singapore. Because Singapore is one of the top performing education systems, 91 predictors of principal turnover was selected based on previous research, including principal and school characteristics such as gender, school level, and size. The outcome variable principal's turnover intentions were coded as factors. All the analysis were conducted in R using the package RPart, and the markdown was provided so that future research can replicate and extend the work. There are several appealing aspects to decision trees in a principal turnover context. Decision trees are intuitive for people to understand because the individual splits naturally function as a yes or no distinction. The decision tree on this slide predicts principals' intentions to change schools in the US. The root node was measured by the item, I'm satisfied with the support that I received from the staff in this school on a Likert scale from 1 to 4, where 1 means strongly disagree and 4 indicates strongly agree. For principals who answer disagree and strongly disagree on this item, they all go left, which falls into the high turnover intention group. Decision trees can provide nonlinear insights in a way that logistic regression cannot, because the logistic regression models can only produce a linear fit as constrained by a linear equation. Decision trees are particularly helpful in modeling nonlinear relationships and discovering them in the first place, as the tree creation process will automatically do this. The project has the potential to benefit different stakeholders and society. As shown in the summary table at the upper right corner, I identified important drivers related to the two forms of principal turnover in the two countries. The findings have the potential to influence K-12 education decision-making on school workforce planning, professional development, and mitigation strategy design to help strong principals persist and thrive in their positions. The study also has interdisciplinary implications. Machine learning methods represent an exciting but underutilized toolkit for psychology, education, and management researchers. The project, for the first time in the principal turnover literature, integrates data science with psychology, management, and education to show the usefulness of using machine learning methods to explore turnover. Thank you for your attention.